How would you describe GoGo Battles?
I call it a satirical comedy feminist wrestling show. It's Saturday Night Live meets Glow with a very queer lens to it.
To describe GoGo Battles in less than an essay length, really, is very hard.
Very political, feminist, irreverent, crazy, silly fun.
GoGo Battles is pandemonium.
A little grimy, it's a little punk rock.
I describe GoGo Battles like a fever dream.
Chaotic, feminist comedy wrestling.
Chaos.
Chaos.
Chaotic. One word, chaotic.
You can't explain it, you have to see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to go
The origins of GoGo Battles is super interesting because it's tied very deeply to like the origins of Cabaret Calgary, the company. So there was a show, a burlesque show that we were running just for funsies, like me and another burlesque dancer. And then we started getting other bookings and other interest, and we were like, okay, we need to have these things separated. So then we created the company on top of that, Cabaret Calgary. And then through that, we started advertising ourselves to bars as an entertainment, a nightlife entertainment company. And this guy contacted us and he was like, please bring in entertainment here. So we sat down with him, we had a meeting, but it's a sports bar. There's like nothing sexy about it.
It had originally been a sports bar kind of vibe that wanted to do a show with Cabaret Calgary. And because Cabaret Calgary, what we do is curate shows specific to the spaces we work with. Kayla had this idea of kind of having go-go dancing, but having this athletic, sporty component to it. So she had told me about it, and I was very curious what that would look like.
What if we have sexy ladies dancing behind the sports, woo, and your patrons are just drinking beer and enjoying the ladies and enjoying the sports, and then to just change it up and for our own like sanity and self-respect, we were like, we'll do a cat fight. We'll just throw a cat fight in there for like a minute.
They were trying to create a show that was going to be a mix of dancing and stage fighting.
I'd been working as a violence designer for theater, and at one point, Kayla came to me and said, hey, I want to do this idea. It's kind of like Glow, it's comedy, feminist wrestling, but we need someone to help us with the fights. Would you be interested in doing this? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'd love to have an opportunity to hone my craft and to do really ridiculous, big, crazy combat, because a lot of the stuff that you do in theater is great, but it's like, you know, one punch, one slap, a push. So I was given the opportunity to design these fights and with big characters and big personalities and big storylines.
I knew Kayla from her time in Vancouver out here, and I introduced her to a common friend, Celine, to hook them up for some burlesque stuff, because Kayla had just moved out here and wanting to know the scene. So they got it talking, and then one day approached me about saying, hey, we're thinking of doing a fun variety wrestling-esque show, and since we know you've done some stuff in the indie wrestling business, could you come help and see what you think? I said yes, because anything to spread the word of wrestling in general in a good way.
I'd been doing burlesque performances with Cabaret Calgary, so with K&B, and they said they had a new project brewing and that it was going to be go-go dancing mixed with stage fighting, and was I interested in something like that? I thought, well, yeah, I've never done stage fighting, but go-go dancing sounds great.
So in late 2018, I got an email saying we have this new show in the works. Cabaret Calgary has this new show in the works. It's going to be called GoGo Battles, and it's going to be go-go and wrestling. And do you want to be part of it? And I said, but of course, of course. And I think that originally I was supposed to have been, the original plan was for me to have been an MC in GoGo Battles. I was going to be like Baron Von Boom. That was who I was going to be. But through some kind of miscommunication, misunderstanding, mutual whatever, they were like, oh no, we thought you wanted to fight, so we've prepared for you to be a fighter. And I said, okay, I've never go-go danced in my life. I've never done this. I'm not a burlesque performer, I'm not a stripper, I'm not a go-go dancer. I've never done this. But if you want me to do it, I'll do it.
And there was a day where I think Kayla had in mind a couple people that she thought would be a good starting roster for this show, because it was not just, a lot of us are burlesque dancers, so she kind of got to bring in a lot of her theater friends who had more of that background.
This is a league made up of non-wrestlers. We are actors, dancers, comedians, none of the aboves.
When we knew this show was coming up, we reached out to a ton of people and we were like, we don't know what we can pay you. We don't know what this is going to be. Like, we just don't know. Just come have fun with us. And of all the people, there were a lot of people we reached out to. 8 responded and showed up. And we had our cute little meeting around our coffee table one night and presented our characters and their background. And it was very sweet.
I joined just as like my performer name. I was just Eva Angel at the beginning. I think I learned a lot about kind of how to play different characters throughout this whole thing. I started as kind of a, like just an amplified version of myself, I guess. And then, yeah, as time went on, the show evolved a lot. So it started out a lot as a lot more go-go, fewer fights, and it's evolved to just the gigantic chaosness that it's become now.
So it started with 8.
We started out with 8 Ball.
8 Ball.
Hi, yeah, it's 8 Ball. I'm just calling to see if you were busy and if you... Oh, you are.
Pit Viper, who was a heel.
Israel.
Baby Rock.
Eva Angel.
We had Valhalla.
Ivory Bloom.
Maddie.
And Access DeVille.
The first night came and we're looking around. It's like your local sports bar. There's a bunch of like gruff dudes sitting around watching sports TV.
Our first show that we did, I think, was at a pub.
The stage was the size of about a postage stamp.
Very small, very limited. I think the most that could be done was we could maybe throw a joke of a punch.
And we had no ring, we had no professional mats. We had like those interlocking foam playroom mats that you have for like kids' playrooms in multicolors. And we taped them down with like multicolored duct tape.
The sightlines were terrible, but what I loved about it was that we had a raised wooden stage that was hollow. So when people fell or when there was impact, it really sounded gross and nasty. We also had 2 walls to play off of, so we did some fun stuff with head smashes, some acrobatic stuff. At one point, I think I had Randy balanced on my back and flipped her over me as she ran up the wall.
And a bunch of our friends showed up to watch us in a room and watched us like go for so long.
It was only 2 fighters for about like an hour and a half show.
Oh my God. I think it was like 3 or 4 songs go-going continuously. And then after each of the fighters had done that, there would be like, I think there were only 2 performers per show. So after each of us had done a first set of go-go, then we would have like an introductory conflict where we would meet each other on the ring and we'd, you know, there'd be some beef. There'd be some kind of like little fetal embryonic story to justify why we were gonna fight. And then we'd come back and do go-go again, I think.
Hey. And then at the end, for like the first fight ever, one fight was 45 seconds, I think.
Yes.
It was about 45 seconds, and we went really big ones with like a minute and a half, and we're like, can we sustain this?
You came out, you did a bunch of dancing, you tried to get the audience involved, and then it would culminate in a cute little stage fight with your opponent, and it was all a little bit smaller scale. There weren't very many storylines, there weren't as many silly props. And then it just sort of evolved and snowballed from there.
We were the commentators for the first one.
Yep.
And we had our friend Lish do as the ref.
Yep.
And we had a janky smoke machine that never really worked. And just would sometimes shoot smoke at people, which is great. And we started on kids' play mats that are approximately 1 to 2 centimeters thick that provide almost no safety whatsoever. My drag mother, loved her, showed up, watched the show. She kind of comes and goes. You never really know when Jamie's gonna be there. And she waltzes over to us after the first show's over, the fight. And she's like, the fight, that's what you got. Poof. We didn't see her at another Go-Go Battles for 4 years.
Yeah.
And we kind of reflected on that. We were like, actually, the fight was really fun.
After the first one, people got excited about the wrestling component, and that started to very quickly become more so what it was about.
A high cross body across the ropes, caught by Jezebel Hart.
Chrissy, being a Gen Z, we know that they don't have health insurance, so this is terrible.
And then that bar closed down.
The pub where they had first been doing the show shut down. It closed down.
It was April.
It was April. And
they got locked out.
You had a birthday present that somebody left at the bar for you, and then the doors got locked and we weren't allowed to get in. So someone gave you a really nice birthday gift that we never got. And I picked up the phone and I called Chris and I was like, you wouldn't be interested in this show? And he was like, that was the one show that really burned me. That he's like, I hated that show was over there. I've always wanted that show here. So Chris was like, let's make it happen. And then we've been at Dickens ever since.
I think that's really when GoGo Battles hit its momentum, and then when we really started building a following and expanding the show.
Yeah, I feel like our first 2 years were just us kind of like finding our footing and just being like, all right, I guess we're still going. And then every year after that, it's been like, oh, we're still doing this? Okay. So we just like get more and more silly. It's wild to look around at these shows that like people give so much. They just give so much of themselves, their time, their energy, their money. And they come out of it and their faces are shiny and they're delighted, and there's like this community aspect to it that like I think that's part of our planning as well, is like, yeah, we look at things and we're like, how can we take this and twist it? How can we do a commentary on whatever?
Looks like they're setting up for a mousetrap. A wing stance.
On the surface has been eliminated.
But then we also look at things like, okay, but how do we involve somebody who's been part of this process or has always wanted to be part of it? Or like, how do we celebrate somebody in the community who's very committed to this, who's excited by this, it would make them feel special? We're performers. We're on stage a lot. It's amazing. It feels great. And GoGo Battles is kind of this like special little world where we're able to invite more people in, and the stakes are pretty low. Currently, GoGo Battles is our longest running Cabaret Calgary show.
Yep. and that's where it started from. And it is the show that like people have tattoos of it. There are like so many dedicated fans. We do t-shirt runs. We, on a Tuesday night, routinely get like 100 people to come out on a Tuesday to watch this zany thing. It's gone through so many iterations. It survived the pandemic. It's been this absolutely crazy thing, and it's because of the community that adopted it as this like nostalgia moment, this excitement moment, this silly thing that they get to be a part of. And a lot of times, because you never know when we tap somebody on the shoulder and we're like, would you like to be in GoGo Battles?